Let's talk about shame and your health. I believe that shame is possibly the most powerfully destructive emotion which we as humans experience. I'm going to start by saying that we all do experience shame, and it is part of the human experience. There can be healthy shame and unhealthy shame. There are healthy levels of shame which allow us to exist in society, which mean that we don't go around beating each other up to steal money off one another. Well, people do, but the majority of us don't. And it leads to a construct around the societal organization and behavior. But then there is an unhealthy shame where people can be shamed. I was working with somebody this morning and there was immense shame around their own sexuality. And that was leading to health issues and pain and jaw problems. So the sense of being ashamed for having a boundary, for having a desire, for not wanting to do something, for behaving in a particular way. Shame, particularly in former generations, was used very much as a tool, well-intentioned, to try to shape children into being good children and then grow into good adults. But despite being well-intentioned, it was so framed around societal norms that it became toxic and unhealthy. Now, let's look at what shame does physiologically and anatomically, and why I believe it to be so problematic. Shame actually leads very much to a freeze-type response. The posture of shame, as we might call it, is very much a down and inward experience. So the head will come down, the body will sink down, the eyes will gaze away like I cannot be looked at. It is deeply, deeply existentially annihilatory. It is I am bad. In attachment work, in very early work, if a child is ignored for their cries, then or told that they must stop crying, then that will lead to a sense that there is something wrong with them, because the belief, as far as a child is concerned, is that the parents must be right. Yes, because they are right when we're tiny, until we become teenagers and begin to realize that they can be, they are not flawless and that they are not perfect. But when we're little, we believe that everything that comes out of their mouth is true. And so if they tell us that we are bad for crying, or get hit for crying, or be sent to our room, or ignored, or left, or abandoned every time you get upset and have a need, then when you experience those needs again as an adult, you will then have gone inwards, and you come up against this sense that because I have a need, and when I experience this need, I am shameful for wanting it. And there is something wrong with me because I experience this feeling. Or if I have anger and it comes up, it is not handled well, then I am bad for experiencing this experience. And it turns and transmutes into shame. Overcoupling of shame and anger is very, very common. I feel anger and it can't live, and we can't put our own boundaries and our own identity out there because it is transmuted into shame on the way up. And so it crushes it and thwarts it. And so that energy becomes depressed down, stuck in, constrictive. The feeling, next time you ever feel shame, feel it and see if you can notice it somatically. It has this sense very much of the heart, and you can even see this in people's posture and body language. You can see that they end up with their heart retracted because they're trying to protect it, and shame and their eye contact can go, and the tension and the body pattern that comes as a result of that can lead to great pain and discomfort. So shame is not just some psychological concept, it's a physiological and somatic concept and consequence too. Working with attachment trauma and being a physical therapist by primary label, if we're going to deal with chronic pain, then this is where my journey has taken me into training in other disciplines beyond physiotherapy. in order to be able to treat the mind and the body and the spirit as one, there's no point trying to sort out a tight muscle that's going on here or some pain between the shoulder blades if really the pattern in the body linked to the mind and the emotional dysregulation is just remains unchanged. So to suggest that the physiotherapist shouldn't be getting involved in psychological matters is absolutely stupid. Now, what we do need to make sure, of course, is that those physiotherapists are suitably trained in those arenas and know how to deal with it. And that isn't part of base training for most physios. But working with shame is so important from a physical point of view, and not to mention its consequences to the rest of the immune system, fibromyalgia, etc., any other label that you might want to give as a presentation for the deep dysregulation of that emotion. Hi, I'm Roger. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons.